I just feel like telling a story about my father. My father was going, in Germany there were not so many yeshivas. There was one, at that time only one, like yeshiva, Rabbiner seminar to become a rabbi in Germany, in Berlin. And anyway, so to make it very short, my father was out. You can brag about your father, he was most probably top. Not only was he top in learning, my father was top in teaching, a gewalt. So my father had offers from all kinds of people that wanted him, because my father needed to go to be a Hebrew teacher in the afternoon to make panos a little bit. So my father had a call from a synagogue, and the rabbi says, I want you to know I have a class, and there are 2 wild boys there, gefährlich, wild Indians. Not that Indians are wild, but it's the way the world talks. And this is already the 6th teacher in the last few weeks. But I heard that you're like a top teacher. Let's say my father was maybe 19. They are very. You want to give it a try? So my father says, sure. What's the world for if not to try? Anyway, my father not only conquered the heart of those 2 kids, especially of one. What was his name? You have to forgive me, I can't remember his name. But just for the sake of calling, because they were Hungarians, and I think they were great-grandchildren of the Maram Schick, who was one of the greatest in Hungary. I think their last name was Schick, but I'm not sure. I think. Oh, no. His name was Klein. But they were great-grandchildren of Schick, of Maram Schick, yeah. Anyway, so to make it very short, the older ones, there were 2, again, come to me in a second. Let's call him Joe. What's the name? Anyway, was like my father's right-hand man. Okay, he was like my father's biggest chosid. My father was 19, and he was 11, 12, and he was like... Then, one way or the other, the parents moved to America, and my father never heard from them. Okay, Hitler came, and we came to America. One day, my father sees that MacArthur is coming back from Japan, and he has this unbelievable reception in New York. And next to him is someone, his right-hand general, Joe Klein. And my father sees the New York Times. And my father says to my mother, it looks like this boy, Joe Klein, who was this wild character in my... And the age was just about the right age for him. He says, I'm sure it's him, maybe not. But my father was very excited. So my father decided, it says they're staying at the plaza, let's send him a telegram. If it is not, it's not. Maybe it is. Okay, to make it very, very short. My father sends a telegram a certain time of the night, a night telegram. The next morning, mamish, early in the morning. My father told me the story a lot of times. Mamish, someone called, and mamish, the crying was to high and couldn't even answer, it was just crying. And just he said, Rabbi, it's me. It's me, your wildest pupil, Yossele. Anyway, he jumped in a cab and he came to my father. I don't know if you know a little bit about MacArthur. He was mamish, MacArthur was just the outside. He was mamish the inside. He was a gewalt, right? One of the best generals in the world. He came to my father and he says, I have to tell you one thing. I want you to know, I was not able to keep Shabbos as a general, but one thing I always wore tzitzis. I want you to know, and he says, I cannot tell you. It is clear to me that my wearing tzitzis saved my life all the time. Because there were times when everybody around me was wiped out. There was no natural way for me to remain alive. I always knew mamish. Because he told me an unbelievable story. He said to my father, Rabbi, do you remember when I told you I'm going to America? And you told me? My father says to him, hopefully you'll keep Shabbos. But even if you don't keep Shabbos, Yossele, don't ever take off your tzitzis. My father told me this, sometimes you say the right thing. Okay, listen to this. This is a funny story now. He says, I want you to know that at a certain point between America and Japan, and he was with MacArthur the whole time, we had not washed ourselves for 2 months. We were just lying somewhere. There's no shower, no water. After 2 months, Baruch Hashem was a little bit peaceful. They drive us to also bombed out hotel, but there was still a shower. There was only one shower. And MacArthur and I are taking a shower after 2 months. Okay, MacArthur watches me getting dressed. He says, what's this? What's this crazy kind of a shirt? So he says, so I told him, I want you to know that this is, he says, this is what we Jewish people are wearing all the time. And he says, I want you to know, he says, sadly enough, I cannot do everything though I'd like to, because I'm a general in the war, but I want you to know, I said to the general, that I have not taken off my tzitzis the whole time of the war. Shlomo Carlebach says, unbelievable. He says, you Jews, you really have some good merchandise, you know. I wish I would have something like this, you know. He says, but you know something, the chaplain of that wisdom was a Reform rabbi. So MacArthur says, I wonder if my Reform rabbi here is wearing tzitzis, you know. Got to check him out tonight. Okay, that night at dinner, you know, it was like a little feast because they're winning the war. And MacArthur says to the rabbi who's sitting on the other side, he says, Rabbi, come here, I'll talk to you. He says, Rabbi, can you explain to me something? I hear that you Jews have such a thing as tzitzis, fringes on the four corners of your garments. And the general says, the rabbi says, General, I hate to admit it, but many thousands of years ago, some of us Jews were superstitious. But now we are so enlightened and we are out of it, you know this. There is not one real healthy, normal Jew who would wear tzitzis today. It's only just in the old times. Okay. MacArthur says to General Klein, hey Joe, do me a favor, take off your shirt. Takes off his shirt, and General Klein told my father it was supposed to be a friendly little zets, but it was, he gave the rabbi a little clap on the shoulder. He says, my dear rabbi, if tzitzis are good enough for my general, they're good enough for you also. Gewalt. Remember, I told you the story. No? It's a Gewalt story. No? So it's a good story.